So let's go back to that concept of putting that money into your own name and into your own control, because that might be kind of new for some people who are thinking, oh, my 401k is my retirement plan.
For most people, their 401k investments represents the bulk of their retirement savings. So you want as much control over the bulk of your retirement savings as you possibly can. The 401k plan is not designed for you to have maximum control. In fact, it's actually designed for you to have less control. When it comes to the investment options, there's very few investment options underneath most 401k plans, and especially if you're looking to be more conservatively positioned underneath your investments, the 401k plans, most of them offer a stable value account and maybe a couple different bond funds and maybe some target date funds that will get more conservative, but that's about it. So you're very limited, especially in the conservative investment options. The employer owns the 401k plan. You own your money, but the employer owns the 401k plan, which means they make the rules around that 401k plan. Them and the Department of Labor essentially make those rules. You just have to follow them. You want the most control over your retirement money as you can, and that's why the 401k plan is more designed for contributions, not designed to house most of your retirement money.
So it's great to focus on use it for what it's intended for. Put the money in there, accumulate while you're working. But now when you get to this later stage of life, when you can get control, we stress that. Let's get control of it. You mentioned most 401k plans, 20 to 30 options. You get to an IRA, the universe, the entire stock market is available to you.
And for most people at 59 and a half, is that the earliest they can do this? I think what they call it in-service withdrawal if you're still working.
For most people, for the bulk of their money, the 59 and a half is. There, of course, are some exceptions. There's always exceptions to every rule. But for most people, 59 and a half is that time frame where you can still work with that employer, but then take control over your money. And if you do it right, it's not a taxable event. You just shift it from the 401k plan over to an IRA, which is underneath your name, your control. Now, for most people in a lot of situations, that does make sense, but that is not a blanket recommendation. So before you do that, you want to make sure it does work for you. It is your right strategy, because there are some cases for some people where that doesn't make the most sense.
So what I think I'm hearing Loren saying, Chawn, is the 401k is great for saving and investing, but spending out of it in retirement for most people isn't usually the best recommendation.
Oftentimes people are thinking, well, this is just a seamless transition. I've put all my money in here, now I'm going to retire. I'm just going to gradually take all my money out. But what we find out with 401k plans is it may not be as easy as you think. A lot of 401k plans, they don't necessarily allow you to just set up that regular monthly distribution like we do with most of the retirement families we work with. Out of the IRAs, we control that. We set up those monthly distributions. The 401k plan, like Loren said, is the employer's plan. They may or may not allow for you to take a regular monthly distribution. You might be limited to one a year, one every 6 months. We don't know. Again, you don't have full control of that. It's their rules. So that isn't the vehicle or the account that we want to just continue to use into retirement. Get control of it. Get that money to an IRA. Now you have full control of it. We can develop that income plan, take money when you want, take lump sum, take regular. You have full control of taking that. You can withhold the amount of taxes. That's another aspect. We can control what level of tax that is the right fit to withhold from your distributions. Most 401k plans are required to withhold 20% on the federal side. That may or may not be the right amount for what your year looks like from a tax standpoint.